Hey team, what if I was to tell you that it's frequency that is keeping you back from success, trading opportunities, making money, all areas in your life that you want to improve? Yes, frequencies. And what do I mean by that? Well, we built on frequencies. We're built on energy. And the old version of you, or the version of you at this moment in time, is the key problem. All right. So let me explain. All right. We have energy, the way that we move, the things that we do, the content that we consume, our output, etc., will equal what happens within 5 or 10 years. Now, the big problem that happens when it comes to this is the old frequency, so the old version of ourselves, will try everything possible to remain relevant when we're trying to improve ourselves. Now, that can be in the form of doubt, disbelief, lack of belief, all these things that are wired in our old version and our old frequency, which are our old behaviors. I believe that there's an energy, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, but I believe that that frequency is seen by the world and it reflects on us as an individual. So how is that going to help you get where you need to get to? Whether that's in trading, etc. And as you know, I like to speak broadly on this channel about success, even though, as you know, I work with traders along the way, because trading opens the door to countless opportunities. Countless. I can't even tell you. And there's many different ways that trading will help you. Trading has a bad name because of what's happened over the last 5 years because of COVID and all these scams and all these people not trading or whatever it may be. However, if you go about it in the right way, it's a game changer for you. Absolute game changer. So what do I mean by talking about this frequency? Now, it's a bit deep. You've got reality transferring. You've got how to defeat reality. You've got reality bending. You've got all these types of things that deep dive into energy and frequency. And yesterday I was on a call with a brand new client who I'm working with, and he's been trading on and off since 2018, but can't seem to get over that line. He's tried courses, $5,000 courses. He's been in certain discords. He's been with big names in the industry, but he cannot get that throughput. Now, first of all, that's because there's no mentorship within that. I'm not just saying that. You can't be a doctor without learning from a doctor. I was not a professional footballer without learning from professional coaches. That's just a fact, all right? But that's not what it's about today. What it's about is today is, can you create new frequencies that create a new version of yourself to get where you need to get to? Now, it's not easy. You know, it's so much easier said than done, as they say, the old famous saying, when it comes to giving someone advice. And then that person is not doing it themselves. Just look at all the coaches, look at all the gurus out there that say one thing on the internet, and we find out that they're doing the complete opposite in real life, whether that's lack of discipline, lack of whatever they're doing. All right. Energy from what you do will be a mirror from what you put out there. All right. And I want to break it down in simple terms when I talk about this energy. If you're looking for 10K months, because that seems to be the figure that everybody wants, seems to be the figure that can change people's lives, get that freedom, unless you want to be, you know, whatever and have a yacht or whatever. But 10K seems to be the figure that people want, that could probably take the bills away and take the pressure away. But if you've never ever seen that type of money before in your bank account, or you've never had that money on a monthly basis, there's going to be a barrier from the old version of yourself, the old workplace, the old jobs at the family all around you, the way that you was brought up, never having that money in your bank. These are old frequencies. And then when you start to develop new frequencies and try and get beyond that, the old frequency, the old relevant habits are going to come in. They're going to make you scared. They're going to make you insecure. They're going to make you not want to do what you're doing. And that is when we become uncomfortable. And the first thing we do when we become uncomfortable, the old frequency, which is relevant, which is build our mind, will go into survival mode and it will bring us back. So when you see traders racking up 50, 60K months on whether it's at Apex or whether it's Top Step or whether it's, you know, Lucid or whatever in the futures prop firm, because they're copying multiple accounts, it's very hard for you to convince your old version of yourself that that's possible when you're only used to maybe earning $2,000 a month. It's unthinkable. But once you break that barrier, guess what? You've then knocked one pillar down from the old frequency. Now, how do you do this? Very, very simple. You need to act and behave and have the skills and the mindset as if you've already made it. Now, I know what you're going to say. I've heard this a million times, Ryan, but how do I see that? And like I was saying the other day, someone who's just jumped on board really, really struggles to get where he wants to be, but he sees it. So he sees it, but he can't get there. And that's because the old frequency is getting in his way from where he needs to be at. There is a blockage along the way. There is that lack of that is in the way. So what you need to do along the way in this journey of rechanging your frequency is understanding that the old frequency is just you. It is just you. It is in the way of you being able to be a profitable trader. It is in the way of you being able to get 10, 15, 20, 30K months. It is in the way of you getting abs. It is in the way of you getting the partner or where the area that you want to live. Or say you're into cars. People flash cars these days like an achievement when you can just get them for a down payment. But if that's what you want to flex and that's what you want to do, when that frequency needs to be developed. If you've never driven a Porsche, if you've never driven a Ferrari, a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, or you've never been around that, it's very hard for you to take from a Ford Fiesta in your mind for that to happen. How do I get there? And the simple question is, I did a video last time on the stupid people make money in trading. And I broke it down into simplicity. And I believe it's the stupid people who do not worry about the old frequencies that are profitable in trading and success in life. Now, let me just have a drink of this. And now I've got a matcha today. So it's a matcha, okay? So for all the people that come in and say, oh my God, it's a matcha. Yeah, my wife's got me on matcha, okay? This one doesn't taste like grass, by the way, but it's beautiful with a little bit of honey. However, I digress. So as you can see, frequency, your old version of yourself, will try and jeopardize and sabotage the version that you are today. So if you knew me from before, you would know that I've always wanted to be successful. But wanting to be successful and then actually taking action to do that are two different things. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants 20, 30K a month. Everybody wants their dream car, whether it's an old classic Porsche or it's a brand new Rolls Royce. Whatever it may be, everybody wants the perfect partner, husband or wife, okay? But you must get rid of the old frequency that brought you that horrible partner, that brought you that drama, that brought you that clapped out car, that brought you that house where you couldn't pay rent or you're sharing a house, what brought you that terrible, cheap clothing, all right? That's the old version of you, the old frequency. And that will always try to pull you back in, my friends. That will always try to pull you back in. Day after day, minute after minute. I'm telling you now, it is hard work to push yourself to be successful. On a daily basis, self-development is hard work because you are having to, on your own, rewire the old version of yourself. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard that is? Like, I have the utmost respect because I've been on this journey for a long time. I have the utmost respect for each and every one of you that says, I am going on a different journey. And I work with many of you. I have some amazing people in my community who I work with on an individual basis. Some of them have completely changed their life around. And in all areas, whether it's health, whether it's trading, whether it's money, whether it's mindset, whether it's reading, whether it's whole foods, whether it's their relationships, whether it's their relationship with themselves, which is more importantly. And all these things, my friend, will matter on your journey to get where you need to get to. So fight those insecurities. Fight those old beliefs. Fight those old habits. Destroy them one by one. And you will get where you need to get to. And in relation to trading, I can tell you this, 1,000,000%, okay, my friends, it is all in your mind. So when people say that they don't need to buy courses or they don't need a coach or they don't need guidance, it is near enough impossible for most people to go on this self-development journey, develop a brand new way of thinking, a new mind without any guidance. It baffles me to understand to think people can actually go and try and do it. It takes years. I know, because I was the egotistical maniac who did it on my own, and it takes years, my friends. So whatever you need to do, go and be around the people you need to be around to develop new frequencies by the way that they think to get where you need to get to. I want to earn a certain amount of money, okay? I want to buy a house, which is a few £1 million, all right? And 3 years ago, I couldn't really envision that. I couldn't really see that. I was, well, okay, well, maybe, maybe not maybe. But I'm hell-bent on making that happen. Because there is something that I want to leave my children, and there is something that I want to leave my wife. But I also want to enjoy that while, God willing, I'm still around, okay? How do I do that? Well, I was never going to be able to do that by hanging around and being around the old version of myself and the old friends. So I got myself into masterminds. I got myself and took courses. I've spent nearly £30,000 to £40,000 just this last 12 months on trying to be around certain people who earn 500 to $1 million a month. You've got to do that, my friends. You have to go out there and be around and see what these people do, and then be one better. Doesn't mean you're going to make more money, but you might be a better person. You might be perfect in a marriage. You might be perfect with your health, the perfect father, the perfect whatever. And it doesn't mean things are going to be swimmingly okay. You're still going to have life problems, because life is lifing. But what you're going to have is peace, calm, and purpose. And I always say peace, profits, and purpose. How good is that life? Peace, profits, and purpose. And I didn't make that up. I got it from another mentor that I had. All right. Peace, profits, and purpose. So the frequency, my friends, without going on a neuro-linguistical kind of way or neuroscience, because I don't want to go down that route with you, because I may have done psychology, but I don't want to speak about neuroscience all the time. Frequency is very, very, very important. And it's going to the next level of your self-development. Your basic is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Secret, The Atomic Habits. This is your entry level. Then we need to get it up. Bending reality, reality transferring, outsmarting reality by neuro knowledge. Big shout out to him. And that book has inspired me to do this video. But those deep books are really going to take you to the next level. So if you need any help with this in relation to your trading, of getting your mind right, breaking through those barriers, you know exactly where I am. There is a link below and I can help people. Okay. There's no doubt about that. Not everybody is a perfect fit for us, and we're not a perfect fit for everybody. But if you really, really want to take your trading to that level, to understand how to get your frequency, then you know exactly where I am, and you click that link and let's jump on a call. And I want to leave you just this one thing. Recently I had someone who will be working with us, but he's working with another mentor at the moment. And he went through a certain stage in his life. He's around about 57 now. And he knew he wasn't the man or the individual that deserved the wife that he had. And he went wrong. And since that day, he has taken every breathing moment of his life to rewire his mind to develop new frequencies. And he is an absolute animal of a man now. Financially, physically, manners, unbelievable. He knows who he is, and he'll probably watch this video, and a big shout out to you. I won't name names, but you can do this, my friends. You can do this. I'll see you on the next one.